Hello! Hope you enjoyed the last intro. It was a long one.
Welcome back to more House of the Dragon, where today I'm feeling a lot more serious than I did yesterday.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean yesterday? What was going on yesterday?
I don't know. Took the dog to the groom room and he didn't like it. Well, he did like it, but he got all itchy and stuff. And so until about 4 a.m. this morning, which I was on my final nerve then. I'm so itchy, Mum. And it's like, he doesn't scratch because he thinks that scratching he's going to get in trouble, which he doesn't, you know, but he's like, oh, no, I won't do it. And I just think, like, what a weird mental thing he must go through. Thinking,
when he's itching, he's like, I mustn't scratch.
Like, my head is itchy right now, so I'm going to scratch it. That's good. We're done with that. Whereas he will literally be like, I am so itchy, and he won't scratch. It's like PTSD for the itch. It's weird.
Well, maybe someone told him when he was a puppy that...
Wasn't me.
Don't scratch it because it'll just make it worse.
Looking at you, Dad. Sorry. Not sorry.
I can't
it's
imagine
all your fault.
Can't imagine being so nice to be like, oh Rob, it'll make it worse.
No. Well, yeah, it's like, scratch, you doofus. Anyway, he's better off today. He's back to the usual 10-and-a-half-year-old Winnie. He's going to be 11 in a few months.
Just sleeps most of the day.
Yeah, where's the time gone? Steejo has some things that he wants to say.
It's nothing that bad. I mean, to be honest with you, apart from like the team games, I hate team games.
We're on no team. So I'm on my team.
See when people are like, oh, team black and team green, and I'm just like...
I'm team red.
Like, I said this at the start of the last episode, which... I think it annoyed me that I said this and people still chose to completely ignore it. But 99% of the people in this show are thoroughly unlikable.
Except Viserys.
Yeah, he's just... Well, I mean... He just lacks the testicles. He's like that one player from Traitors that just wouldn't come out and say who the traitors were.
But he knew who they were. Listen, he's not perfect. He didn't exactly seem bothered that his child has a squall from Final Fantasy VIII scar up his face, although Squall's was nowhere near as bad as Aemon's.
It's really weird though that he wasn't like... Because there was a load of people in the comments that were like, oh yeah, it's because he doesn't care about his own kids. He only cares about Rhaenyra's kids. And it's like, but that doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day, they're still his kids. Unless you start thinking, well, we talked over it, but apparently he called Alicent by his old wife's name.
Yeah, which is why they were kind of like, what? Because I did pick up on the scene, but I didn't understand why she was looking so... taken back by something.
So yeah, unless they're like, he only cares about Rhaenyra and her kids because they've got the connection back to his previous wife, but he doesn't care about his new kids because...
Yeah, and she was taken far too soon. Like, he was so in love with her, you know, and they were supposed to have the boy together and it was meant to be this, like, fairy tale thing that he didn't get. And I think he does look at Rhaenyra and he's just like, you're the last line to my wife.
Yeah.
And the fact that he still has the ring.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, and he plays with it all the time.
And he'd be the same. I know you'd never get over me because I am perfect. In every way. I dyed my hair. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? Thought I'd go like full on Avril Lavigne for a little bit because she's my hero.
So yeah, anyway. The other thing was the fight between
the boys
and the girls, the kids. I find it wild, and I don't know if it's just because, like, people have never been in physical confrontations in their life.
He came in the room, the kids obviously were like, the dragon's gone, la la la. Comes in, he's got an attitude, and while you can be like, well, he's been bullied, he gets bullied by his own brother. Like, the bastard kids are the ones that just kind of fall underneath
The bastard kids!
Well, that's what they are.
Rhaenyra's kids.
You know, they fall underneath that, and...
He's obviously taken out his bullying from his brother and then become the bully. As soon as he got the dragon, he was like, yeah, I'm Mr. Big Bollocks.
Yeah, look at me now. Because he even said to her, like, oh, you can have a pig. So clearly that whole scene got to him. And he used that basically to be like, listen, I know you've just buried your mum
Literally today.
In the sea. But I've taken her dragon. You should have done it sooner. What? But he was such an arrogant little tosser that you can understand why she hit him. I do the same. Like, I would do the complete same. Like, if you were gloating in my face that you've just taken my mum's dragon that was supposed to be for me, I can understand why the fight broke out the way it did. We just expected to have conversation about Rhaenyra and Alicent's exchange. We didn't expect that we were going to have to be like, guys,
it's Rockgate.
Like, come on, can you not see what happened? The boy turns up with a knife because the dragon's gone missing. He didn't turn up with the knife to be like, I know it was Aemond.
Honestly, I didn't second guess why he had a knife at all, because he's the oldest brother. It's obviously in this universe, it's his responsibility to protect
his brother. Yeah.
So him having a knife is just like, right, whatever. It's you know, I would kind of expect that. I wouldn't say that he turned up with a knife with intent, you know? It wasn't like I was going to go and stab whoever it was. And maybe he was. Maybe he was like, I'm going to go and stab whoever it is that stole this dragon.
Yeah, because family's family. Family's
Dominic
family.
Toretto was always
you know, he was not expecting that Aemond was going to come in the room like a cocky little. And then as soon as Aemond was like, oh, they're all hitting on me now, picks up a rock, has his little brother by the throat, and he's like, "Mer." And I couldn't believe, did you like, "Mer"? I can't believe there was people that were like, but he didn't use it.
I know, you've just like, so...
What's wrong with these people?
If you're having a fight and you grab a weapon, you've escalated that fight. You've escalated that from 100%. A punch-up to like life or death then. Regardless of what the weapon is, if it's a rock, if it's a knife, if it's a gun, you know, if you're the first one to pull a weapon, you've escalated that fight to something that's life or death.
And not only that, he escalates it with the rock. He then brags about like, oh, your little bro don't know who his dad is, ha ha ha. Like, he just keeps going. Like, I can't understand how anyone could have been like, he didn't start it.
I know, I don't get it.
If he didn't start it, why were the four kids okay until he came in the room? And then
it's so weird.
Things happen. Do you know what I mean? And
especially between kids
cocky,
and cousins.
He was cocky, and he got what was coming to him as the cocky kid. And what I mean by that is the first hit and stuff like that. But then instead of being like, because they weren't hurting him.
I like we're just dissecting this fight.
Yeah, and I think what's frustrating is that I'm not on any side. I'm just looking at it impartially, going, that's just what happened.
Yeah, I mean, we had a big rant about how, like, Rhaenyra was awful for talking about killing her husband and all that so that she could...
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, well, you say this about Alicent, but you don't say anything about Rhaenyra. No, we did. we fucking did.
We literally shade them both. Like, they're both tossers. Let's be honest.
Like, she's literally...
This is the best one.
Like, Rhaenyra's made the conscious decision that they're going to basically roll with an iron fist so no one can f*** with them. They're going to do terrible things so that people are afraid of them.
That sounds familiar.
Like, how is that not... I actually says to you yesterday about Alicent, I was like, I think I would respect her character a lot more if she was like Cersei and everything she was doing was like... She was doing it all to advance her kids in line. Like, she was making Rhaenyra look to be like this horrible person in Viserys' eyes so that she could advance it. But she does it all with this like horrible air of superiority that is like, you ain't like, you sit on your high horse like looking down at the rest of them, but you're no better. Like, you were happy enough, well, you weren't happy, but you didn't do anything when Chadley killed Joffrey in the middle of a wedding. You didn't do anything when Chadley told you that he'd slept with the princess either, which is a crime. You didn't do anything when Larys told you that he'd killed his brother and his dad. You didn't do anything... Well, you actually actively encouraged Larys and was like, oh, I'll need your services later. Mm-hmm. Like, she has no moral high ground to sit on with this. But because she's super religious, she's like, oh no, you're having sex out with marriage? So what do you want her to do? Rape her husband? Like, is that what...
Well, they actively said that they did try.
Yeah, and he just either has slow swimmers or he just couldn't.
He just likes the male attention. Like, what can he do? You know.
And then, okay, so the other thing that we got pulled up on, which is the one that I kind of expected more people would talk about, which is the Alicent Rhaenyra thing, where she pulled a knife on Rhaenyra. She pulled the dagger, Viserys' dagger. I was like, people were like, oh, well, you don't understand. If you had kids, this is the Miller.
I love that if you had kids.
If you had kids, like, as if I don't have anyone that I care really deeply for. If you had kids, then you would understand if they lost their eye. It's like, I don't think that I would pull a knife on the mother of the kid that done it, especially when she was nowhere near the confrontation that happened.
Yeah, it was nothing to do with her. Like, you should have been attacking the so-called guards that were meant to be watching the kids.
I think she just took out all her hatred and resentment for Rhaenyra.
So do you think we're going to have a time jump today?
Well, what happened last one? Rhaenyra and
They got married
Daemon
at the end.
went off to Dragonstone, didn't they?
Yeah. I think there's going to be a
I
time
reckon
jump.
so.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what would happen within the immediate aftermath of that last episode for them not to time jump.
Where were they off to on the boat again?
Dragonstone.
But Rhaenyra and Daemon were watching the boats leave.
Oh, probably back to King's Landing.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, they were at Rhaenyra's husband's place.
Mm.
The
and he's alive!
Marsh or something. I don't know.
He's alive!
He's alive!
That was nice. I was
Yeah.
happy. That was like a good
That
feel.
was it was a nice
Yeah.
wee moment. Yeah.
But don't forget, if you want to watch this unedited, you can head on over to susylou.co.uk or head on over to the Patreon. The link is in the description. It always is.
It's been near 6 years since I last saw my lord husband, Maester.
Well, there we go.
He fell overboard into the sea. The wound was severe. Much blood was lost. But the greater concern is the fever that followed. Ship's maester said, he burns from within.
He wasn't content, was he?
Corliss.
He wasn't content.
Oh, why would he be?
Well, I feel bad for her, though, but I feel like they were on different wavelengths.
Yeah.
So they arrive in 3 days. Let all be made ready to receive him, Maester Calvin.
God, she loses her son, and then 6 years later, he's gone as well.
And who will take the Driftwood throne?
My grandmother seems quite comfortable here.
She presides only in the absence of her husband.
Okay, but if he doesn't come back, then she's perfect.
To Lucerys Velaryon, as is my lord husband's desire.
I am the sea snake's own blood. The closest kin he has left.
Oh God, here we go.
None can take your words for treason.
I speak the truth, Rhaenys. And you know it.
I mean, if we believe that on the internet, well...
Driftmark is mine, by all rights. And while I should like your support, I do not need it.
Oh, honey.
My cousin the king would have your tongue for this.
But it's not a king who sits the Iron Throne these days, good sister. It's a queen.
Alicent is the one that pulls all the strings.
Yeah. Poor Viserys, man.
What I was saying is how do you know that you're part of the original line without Jeremy Kyle there to do paternity tests?
Jerry!
You don't know if there was bastards introduced all the way down. They just happen to look like you.
Well,
you
you
know?
just start again, don't you? And you just pretend that all
Just
is
pretend.
well.
I think that's kind of the thing that Corliss kind of touched on, where he's like, oh, no one remembers bloodlines. It's all to do with
It's all the name.
your name.
Yeah, which is probably why he was happy enough for Rhaenyra to just be shagging whoever.
Well, to be honest with you, I can imagine that a lot of it was... What the fuck is this? It's just like a dragon's nest or something. Oh, it is, yeah. I can imagine that he probably used that line of thinking as a way to rationalise the fact that his son was gay. And
Yeah.
he knew that his line had ended. So he was like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. Coping.
Yeah.
Meister Kesimadas, Sir Mastas, Hendrik Makot, Abrasma Bela.
Uh-oh.
I just want to know, man, what's happening now that those two are married and they're saying that Alison's pulling all the strings. I'm assuming that Rhaenyra just never went back.
Yeah, she just stayed at Dragonstone, yeah.
That's a pregnant lady.
Alright, don't get too excited.
Well, I'm just saying it's gonna be the blonde one.
That's a weird kink.
I'm just getting excited for the blonde baby.
Dranyot, Velinio, Viartis.
Dranyot. Come on, Jace.
Perhaps that's enough for this morning.
No, I want to keep going.
I can't even roll my R's.
I don't expect you to learn High Valyrian in a day, Jace.
A king should honour the traditions of his forebears.
Well, unless you're planning to depose your own mother, you have plenty of time to study.
Might do. Stranger Things. Might just to marry my own mother.
I still think that those two are having a boy though.
Leave us.
And Jace is he's not getting anywhere near it.
I reckon they're having a boy, and it turns into a big succession crisis.
Well, so you don't think Rhaenyra's even gonna have the throne?
No, I think after she dies.
Disagreement. She believes we had her son killed so that we might marry.
Yes.
I mean, it's 'cause you did.
Has the Viper's venom spread so far?
Those vipers rule in my father's name. And my father...
He's just a weak old man.
Mm-hmm.
What choice do I have?
I think it's about time that he got knocked off, to be fair.
To King's Landing, then.
Oh, guys, I just don't want you to go to King's Landing. I'm still not over the last bloody episode. Get to see what Aemon's scar looks like. That'll be nice.
He's actually been played by the guy that done Escape from New York.
Oh my god. Even though he's like in his 60s now.
Can't remember the actor's name.
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell, yeah.
How do I know this? I don't know.
All hail Rhaenyra, House Targaryen, Princess of Dragonstone and heir to the Iron Throne, and her royal consort, Prince Daemon Targaryen.
I wonder if this is the first time they're coming out here together.
Yeah, probably. Probably the first time that they've been back in 6 years or whatever it was. Was it 6 years?
Yeah.
Well, probably a bit longer than 6 years. God, it took you that long to put a baby in her though, Damon. Jesus.
I was gonna say, you'd think it'd be like...
On to number 20 or something now.
I wonder what her dad thinks of this, though.
Welcome back, Princess.
Lord Caswell?
Where's my dad?
I was going to say, you think that... Turns out he's dead and she's just got like a wee meat puppet and she's
I
like...
would say it's nice to be home, but I scarcely recognise it.
Is that new, that star? The seven-pointed star or whatever it is, that thing? The religious symbol?
No idea.
And the extent to which we exploit those is contingent on the harbour master's receipts, of which,
You're one seat closer there, Otto.
which I would not recommend.
Thank you for that exhaustive accounting, Lord Beesbury. I remind you.
And that, as they say, is that. That's who he is.
Ride the show buff.
Your guests have arrived, Your Grace.
I trust they've been welcomed as befits their station.
As you instructed, Lord Hound.
Look at her, she's proper shitting herself.
The boy has been raised most of his life away from Driftmark. He can fly a dragon, yes, but can he command a fleet?
Ability does not alter his claim.
Exactly.
The crown must choose what is best for the realm.
He is Laenor's son. What grounds could there be
What
for...
indeed?
Yeah.
We shall hear Princess Rhaenyra's petition along with those of the other claimants on the morrow. I do beg your pardon, my lords. I must greet our guests.
Well, she's playing the politics very well.
Whatever it is, Sir Eric, you need to wait.
I'm Eric, Your Grace.
Of course. My apologies, sir.
It's about the prince. There's been a delicate situation in his apartments.
Oh, is he killed the prostitute? You know it's bad crack when the king's not even going to the small council.
Yeah.
Oh, it's covered in cobwebs. His little Warhammer set.
Is he even alive?
That's what I says. It turns out he's dead.
Like, are we hiding something here? Like, where is he?
Father?
Yeah, best you wait there, Damon. Just in case. Oh my god! That would be hard to see.
It's me, my king. Rhaenyra.
Like how he comes in armed to the nines.
Well, he's got to protect his lady.
Help me up.
Oh.
You know, getting old just doesn't look like fun, does it?
Not when you've got whatever disease he's carrying.
It has been so long.
Part of me is like, why are they covering his eye? Did Alicent take his eye?
You are to affirm your position for Lucerys. To be Corlys Velarion's successor.
Something happened to Lord Corlys.
Yep.
Father, there's someone we wish to introduce you to.
Oh?
There is
There's
other
another
kids.
one.
Is that a boy?
His teeth are making my teeth sore.
Who is that?
Viserys.
Father,
That's what I call him.
this is Aegon,
Aegon!
and this is Viserys.
Yay! Baby Viserys.
No.
That is a name fit for a king.
The little blonde Viserys.
That's adorable.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
That must be horrible for Damon to see.
Yeah. Just hit them with a piece of cheese, he'll be fine.
My tea.
This?
Yes. Yes.
I'd like to know what the f***'s in your tea, though.
I know, there's just a part of me that's like, are they killing him softly?
I doubt they'd be killing him, because then, if he dies, then Alicent loses any sort of power she's got.
Well, Damon's on it though, isn't he?
But if they're poisoning him to keep him infirm...
He was not happy looking at that just then.
Tell me your name. It's Diana, Your Grace. If it please you.
I don't think anything pleases her, to be honest.
Not anymore.
I asked him to stop, Your Grace. He did. Truly. You must believe me.
I'm just waiting on her, like, stabbing her in the neck.
I was like, I thought she was gonna slap it or something like that.
Thank you for telling me, Diana.
I doubt Alicent would get her hands dirty, though.
I feel like she's more mental on the inside. As in, like, she's... I don't know how to explain it. But I couldn't imagine her killing. She'd play mental games.
I haven't told anyone.
You told Sir Eric, and Talia, and now me. And though I believe you were not to blame, others might not be so trusting. They might think you were trying to besmirch the prince, or worse. That you're the sort of girl that might have enticed him in the first place.
I'm just looking at the girl and I'm like, aye, yeah, because she did that.
I guess it's nice that she's kind of being like, don't say it to anyone. As opposed to just killing her like Cersei would.
I know you won't.
Are you sure? Because if she goes and has a convo with, what's he called? Lattice?
She might get her tongue cut out. Well, she get money though.
The tea, Your Grace.
Oh, well, that's nice.
They seem very quick at making this, don't they? God.
Just because it's sitting about.
I know. Big jar of it out back for the ladies. Gosh, she just looks like she wants to scream all the time, doesn't she?
She's like if Cersei was dead behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Get up. Aegon!
He's a teenager! Leave him alone. Oh, damn!
What is it?
What is it? What is it? What is it? That's all you can say for yourself.
She really takes it out on him, doesn't she? All that pent up.
I mean, he deserves it.
He's a teenager!
So it's fine to rape your servant
Well,
girl?
That's not what I mean. I meant the sleeping.
Oh, it was just harmless fun. She didn't need to go get upset about it.
How can you keep carrying on like this, especially on a day like today?
Why? What is it today?
That gave me such a fright! He has no clue what's going on around here, does he?
He's got a hyper-religious mother, and he's just like doing what he wants.
That was a bit
It's like
unnecessary.
The gods have cursed her with a son like Rhaenyra.
I try so hard, but it will never be enough for you or father.
Have you seen Diana? She's supposed to dress the children.
Oh no.
He looks like a different person.
Don't worry. Diana's been let go.
Perhaps if he could see the king, he'd suggest a different.
Princess Rhaenyra and Prince Daemon. It's been so long since we were granted the joy of your presence.
Yep.
Indeed. Your Grace.
They're not long enough to merit a greeting upon our arrival.
I'm sure the Queen had pressing business, my love. What can either of us know of ruling a kingdom?
Love them.
Yeah.
On the advice of the maesters.
The maesters, of course. It is they who keep him addled on milk of the poppy while the High Towers warm his throne.
Rhaenyra, if you would see him without it, almost blind with suffering.
So he's smashed on opium. Cool.
Which authority will sit in judgment of my son's claim on his own inheritance?
That would be mine.
Well,
hands. But be assured the father is just and commands me to forget the accusations you have held in this room today.
Oh God. It's just like anything that's ever said between people, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna use that against you. Yeah, what'd you say? Every time. Like, it must be exhausting. Oof, they really do look down their noses at them, don't they?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Everyone's staring at us.
Let them stare.
If I look more like Sir Laenor Velaryon than Sir Harwin Strong.
Doesn't matter what they think.
Oh, but it matters to him, though.
Yeah.
Bless him, he just wants respect.
At the end of the day, you're a Targaryen. Oh, Chadley the Unaging.
Imagine training with that thing, though. Like, one wrong move and it's like, doink.
I mean, they weren't used in combat like that. They were used against people with shields.
Nephews? Have you come to train?
No.
Good timing. Yes, open the gate. Thank you very much.
Here it comes to wreck the day.
I just feel like this is all gonna be dramatic.
Just a wee bit.
I feel bad for those kids. They're just in the middle of political BS.
What we do for the good of the realm.
I must confess a certain uneasiness now this is at hand. He may yet live.
But we must be prepared if he does not.
Well, you're literally just going to kick off, like, civil war here.
We must, of course, act in the interest of our subjects.
The next Lord of the Tides will be deeply in your debt, Your Grace.
Do me a favour and I'll do you one. I'll owe you one.
Isn't that how these shows go, though?
And that's the thing, like, she can act as pious as she likes, but at the end of the day, they're all just as corrupt as each other.
You honor me, Princess.
Might I speak to the princess alone, Lena? Princess.
I feel so bad, like, for Rhaenyra at this point. It's like, everyone's just rising up against them. But you have to think of it from her point of view here, where it wasn't her fault that her mum died, and the child died too. She didn't even want any of this anyway.
Or that her husband couldn't impregnate her.
This is no fair proceeding. It is a trap. Set by the Queen in the Hand, I'd wager, to proclaim my son illegitimate.
Yet you did worse than that with Laenor. Did you not?
No.
I wish I could tell you he was still alive.
Still, he went on a wee boat with his fancy man.
I loved your son. You may not believe it to be true, but I did.
Just not in a sexual way. Because I think she did love him as a
order his
person.
death.
Yeah, I think so.
Nor was I complicit in it, I swear this to you.
In front of the old tree.
I'd never lie in front of the tree.
Back Luke's claim, and let us betroth Lena's children to mine. Baela will be Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
A generous offer. Or a desperate one.
What does it matter?
Yeah, you get something out of it.
Yeah, and all you've ever wanted is something after they took the crown from you.
It does not matter.
Mind you, saying that though, she also said she put it all to bed.
Yeah.
You can bargain with me all you like. Bring my granddaughter with you to soften my resolve. But tomorrow the High Towers land their first blow.
Yep.
They force you to your knees. And I must stand alone.
You really have no chance whatsoever. Right, just because you're going to lose the first battle doesn't mean you're going to lose the war. Don't worry about it.
They just can't leave it alone, you guys. They just can't let it go how it's supposed to go. People just get very jelly.
Well, of course not, because then Alicent marrying him and having his kids would have meant nothing if Rhaenyra gets the throne.
The Song of Ice and Fire, do you believe it to be true?
Aegon's tree.
I know it's true.
By naming me heir, you divided the realm.
Well, if she's worried that it's all divided now, give up. What do you care?
I don't think you ever thought you wanted it, though.
But the burden is a heavy one. It's too heavy.
Especially having to deal with Alicent and all that all the time. Like, whatever. I'd run a mile.
If you wish me to bear it, then defend me. And my children.
Yeah, I think your last ally there is not going to be much use.
It's just horrible having to see that.
Well, it basically
Honestly,
turned your dad into a smackhead.
Yeah. And it's not as if you can get anything out of his system just in time to back you up, you know?
Well, no, you'd have to go through withdrawal symptoms and all sorts.
And I know all about that. It's not fun.
What about heroin withdrawal symptoms?
Well, I mean, not that far, no. I just hate knowing that it's like they're not on his side.
Mm-hmm.
It's gross.
The whole of my family were gathered at the Red Keep. I want us to dine together.
Oh. Yeah, I wonder what happened to his eye.
It's really odd, though, that they're not explaining it. Oh, it's making my skin crawl thinking about being in that much pain, like with your body and just...
Bring milk of the poppy.
Yep, give him more.
Say no.
Just arrange this up.
Look how skinny he is and everything.
I know.
He's just like a walking corpse.
We gather here with the grim task of dealing with the succession of Driftmark.
Horrible saying Otto in the...
I was gonna say, I bet he loves that, doesn't he?
The Crown will now hear the petitions. Sir Vaymond of House Velaryon.
Crown isn't even there.
The history of our noble houses extends beyond the Seven Kingdoms to the days of old Valyria. For as long as House Targaryen has ruled the skies, House Velaryon has ruled the seas.
I mean, mate, neither of them were House Targaryen, though.
If you cared so much about your house's blood, Sir Vaymond, you would not be so bold as to supplant its rightful heir. No, you only speak for yourself and for your own ambition.
You'll have chance to make your own petition, Princess Rhaenyra.
All right, shut
Do
up.
Sir Vaymond the courtesy of allowing his to be heard.
I mean, why is it not more of a debate, though?
Give it one, then the other, then the other.
Cut my veins and show it to you, and you still wouldn't recognize it. This is about the future and survival of my house.
What do I look like?
Not
A microscope.
We need Jerry Springer up in here.
Jerry.
This is a matter of blood, not ambition.
Why are you looking at me like that, like Zoolander?
I humbly put myself before you as my brother's successor, the Lord of Driftmark.
I'm worried about Luke. I feel like he's gonna freak out or something and be like,
Sir Vaymond.
he's not actually my dad, I think. Like, he's just giving me that energy. You know, look at him.
If I am to grace this farce with some answer, I will start by reminding the court that nearly 20 years ago in this very...
Is that Viserys coming in?
I hope so.
There he is! Yay!
King of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men.
Get off my
Lord of
seat,
the
you
Seven Kingdoms
head.
And protector
Oh.
of the realm.
Love it. Now the Crown will preside over it.
Oh, looking a bit concerned there, but I thought you drugged him. What's going on?
Yo!
He looks so cool!
Full on Phantom of the Opera on the go.
Go on, Rhaenyra, go to him and help him.
No, you gotta let him do it himself.
This is like some Dark Souls moment right here. Is he gonna get up the steps though?
No, it's gonna be like Willy Wonka. He'll just drop the cane and backflip onto the throne.
Oh, suddenly so many eyes in the room that are like, oh, me. Yeah, pretend to look worried.
Yeah, that look should be concern for her husband. Not concern over, am I going to get rumbled here?
I will sit the throne today. Your Grace.
Yeah, you damn right he will.
Yep.
Take a step back. Good guy though, good guy.
Good for you, guy whose name everyone forgets.
You know what? While you can drag your ass up there, you sit your ass on that throne and you pick up your crown.
I said I'm fine.
It's his brother.
Aww.
Come
Aww. That's such a big deal, Daemon putting his crown on for him.
One moment.
Out of all the people in the world, it's your brother that's still got your back, you know? All the people here trying to keep you down, giving you drugs. And he knew instantly, he's like, what are you giving my brother?
That's not a comfy seat though.
I do not understand why petitions are being heard over a settled succession. The only one present who might offer keener insight into Lord Corlys's wishes is the Princess Rhaenys.
Indeed, Your Grace.
Yeah, what did Corlys actually want? Not who thinks that they deserve it, what did Corlys want?
It was ever my husband's will that Driftmark pass through Sir Laenor to his true-born son, Lucerys Velaryon. His mind never changed.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, the Princess Rhaenyra has just informed me of her desire to marry her sons Jace and Luke to Lord Corlys's granddaughters, Baela and Rhaena. A proposal to which I heartily agree.
Nice! Yes!
The matter settled. Again.
Again.
I hereby reaffirm Prince Lucerys of House Velaryon is heir to Driftmark, the Driftwood throne, and the next Lord of the Tides.
Calm down, Luke. Just don't freak out. I feel like he's gonna freak out.
I know. I don't think.
Law and centuries of tradition.
Oh, Christ, here we go.
Yet you dare tell me who deserves to inherit the name Velaryon? No. I will not allow it.
I love Daemon every time he's like, oh God.
Do not forget yourself, Daemon.
Sounds like treason to me.
Are you going against the king?
Is no true Velaryon.
Oh no, leave him alone.
Viserys is my true-born grandson.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You may run your house as you see fit.
Okay, bye.
But
I'm doing
you will
it.
not decide the future of mine.
He's your king.
I will not see it ended on the account of this.
What?
Oh.
This what? Say it.
Say it.
Come on, expose yourself even more.
Children are bastards!
Bye-bye. Na 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 na. Da 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 da.
Oh. It's not a wise move, really.
Goodbye.
We'll have your tongue for that.
Oh!
There you go.
Sorry!
Keep his tongue.
Disarm him!
No need.
Call the maesters! Father.
Please, my love, you must take something for the pain.
Leave him alone, man.
Well, good. I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, well, that worked out. Well done, Damon.
Thank God, Viserys, man. I just wasn't. That just happened so fast.
You got some crazy glue sticking up back
I
there.
thought you were gonna.
At least it was quick.
You won't miss him, hen.
You may wish to leave the Silent Sisters to their work. It is ill luck to look upon the face of death.
I don't think she's been having good luck.
I assure you, it cares little whether my eyes are open or closed.
Oh, I got to see the inside of a heat. God, they're such terrible people. And then it's like Viserys comes in and it's like telling all your kids off. You know, where it's like, we've done this already, guys. Shut up.
At the end of the day, it is up to Corlys who he wants to be his heir.
Which he would have told her.
Well, he did in the last episode. We saw it.
But she was nearly corrupt. Because she wasn't going for it.
I think she was always going for it. I think she was just like, there's no, like, whatever. Like, it's not going to change anything if Alicent's the one that's deciding. Or Otto.
Why do I feel like he's not living past the night after that? I'm just getting a vibe.
What is it's like his last supper, isn't it?
Damon's gone right up in my book.
May the mother smile down on this gathering with love. May the smith mend the bonds that have been broken for far too long. And to
Who
Daemon
is he?
Velaryon, may the gods give him rest.
What?
The long-haired guy.
That's Aemond.
That's meant to be Aemond.
He's got one eye, of course it is.
He looks older than Aegon.
Yes, yeah, he does. He looks a lot older than Aegon.
Ah, that's why it confused me. And the scar's not very definitive, so I was just kind of like, who the hell is this guy?
Let us toast as well, Prince Lucerys, the future Lord of the Tides.
Hear, hear.
Here, indeed.
You do know how the act is done, I assume.
Oh my god.
I had to put you on all that.
Let it be, cousin.
You can play the gesture if you wish, but hold your tongue before I betray it.
It's so funny that he was the one that was meant to be, hopefully, the next king, and he's such a jester.
Aegon, yeah.
He's so immature compared to his brother.
I mean, he always was, though, wasn't he?
The faces most dear to me in all the world. Yet grown so distant from each other in the years past.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've seen it coming. Oh, here we go, here we go. Did she take your eye?
Turns out he's got a robot eye. It's the Millennium Eye.
Oh, God.
My own face is no longer a handsome one. If indeed it ever was.
Wow. How do you drink?
But tonight, I wish you to see me as I am. Not just a king, but your father, your brother,
your granddad,
and your grandsire, who may not, it seems, walk for much longer among you.
I mean, to be honest with you, you look like a crispy lad.
He already looks like Pirates of the Caribbean.
If not for the sake of the crown, and for the sake of this old man, who loves you all.
I mean, you tried to say that 6 years ago as well.
I think that Daemon just killed someone, though, and it's another case of, eh.
I mean, I think they were going to kill him anyway, you know. His outburst was treason.
I wish to raise my cup to Her Grace the Queen.
Beep boop boop.
I love my father, but I must admit that no one has stood more loyally by his side than his good wife.
I'm like, is this legit or no?
Unfailing devotion, love, and honor. And for that, she has my gratitude.
And she's trying to appeal to the...
And my apology.
The masses.
The old Alicent. No, I think she's trying to appeal to the old Alicent that she knew.
Your graciousness moves me deeply, Princess.
Because I feel like that's the two sides of hers. Who she was as a kid, and then her dad, basically.
You will make a fine queen.
Oh!
Wow. Everyone out here getting me cutting onions.
That's a bit of a declaration. Still don't believe that she's going to allow that to happen, though, but... Or at least her dad won't.
Yeah, there's a part of me that I do feel like she wants to put everything behind her and get a life, you know, like a new life, but he's not going to let it.
No.
You know?
Interesting that Otto's there.
I regret the disappointment you're soon to suffer.
Oh, he's such a...
If you ever wish to know what it is to be well satisfied, all you have to do is ask.
Chase.
He's just goading you.
Oh no. That's one person you don't want to stand up.
You
alright there? Bathroom's that way? No?
To Prince Aegon and Prince Aemond. We have not seen each other in years, but I have fond memories of our shared youth.
Beyond taking your eye.
And as men, I hope we may yet be friends and allies. To you and your family's good health, dear uncles.
He is very well trained to be the next king,
Oh yeah,
isn't he?
he's very well trained.
To you as well.
Him, on the other hand, not so sure.
Kill him with kindness. He's like, oh, I want to fight.
The beast beneath the moors.
Well done, my boy.
What about the beast beneath?
They'll be married soon. It
isn't so bad. Mostly he just ignores you. Except sometimes when he's drunk.
It's all coming out now. Good wife, good for you.
Let us have some music.
Thank God, because you can cut the tension, you know?
Just gotta start cutting shapes.
Ah! Poor wife, he's probably just thinking like, this girl needs a break. He'll show you how to be an actual man. Or kinda, I guess. Kids are always a reflection of the parents, and I mean it with Alison, and I feel like you look at those two boys and her anxiety and stuff like that, it kind of shows on the kids. Whereas Rhaenyra's like, he's like a perfect child almost.
Yeah, but do you not think that he's very much like his dad in that respect? His dad.
Yeah.
Not his dad, but his dad. But not his dad.
All he wants is like a nice family night.
I know.
He's gonna die, isn't he? This is it.
It is funny that how like people do hold on. Like you hear about it all the time about stuff like this happening, and then like the next day they pass away and.
Oh, Damon.
Must be so hard to see your brother like that, especially when you're like young and healthy. Notice how everyone stood up apart from Aegon.
I think he's just doing his own thing, really, isn't he?
Aegon, yeah. Oh, you didn't even get to have the pig.
Oh, he's really got a thing for him, doesn't he? I mean, obviously.
He took his eye!
I know, but still, it's
I don't think I'd easily forgive the person that took my eye, regardless of. Well, obviously, he didn't take his eye.
Uh-oh.
Final tribute.
To.
He speaks.
Jace. Luke. And Joffrey. Each of them handsome, wise.
And?
Let us drain our cups to these 3 strong boys.
I dare you to say that again.
Why? It was only a compliment. Do you not think yourself strong?
Oh, God! Here we go again! Oh, cousins.
Though it seems my nephews aren't quite as proud of theirs.
Wait!
Oof.
Yeah.
Frickin' Damon being like, that's enough of that.
Yep. You seen what happened to the last guy? You were there, weren't you?
Just holding on to a little bit of tension, though. Sometimes you gotta get it out. Can we not be fighting while she's preggers?
It's best, I think, if we go back to Dragonstone.
You've only just arrived.
Yeah, but...
Let me see the children home. I'll, return on Dragonback.
The king and I would both like that.
They wonder why they have issues with these pregnancies all the time, don't they? Cutting about on dragons and...
Yeah. The stress of the world.
I know.
That was sincere.
Yeah, I feel like the
that was like
really,
the old...
Yeah, really disarmed.
That was sincere.
Alison.
Where everything around them is so hectic and she was like holding on to Rhaenyra.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his woman from before, Damon?
The Whispers lady.
He better not be going for a quick bang over there.
No.
Or is it
It's
Aemond?
been quite a night at the castle, Sims.
Yes, lady.
Oh, it's her.
She's a spy. A spy! So, and before the story about the young girl comes out... Turns out he's just withdrawn from his bloody opium addiction.
Yeah. Well, Alicent wasn't wrong. The prince is being stupid.
That is looking worse.
I just keep feeling like she's gonna kill him.
Believe what to be true, my king.
Oh, don't you remember? Aegon.
Our son.
The fire conversation.
Yeah, the dream.
What he saw in the north. The prince that was promised.
I don't understand this house.
The prince.
Prince Aegon.
No, Aegon the Conqueror.
It is you. You are the one. You must do this. You must do this.
She must do what?
I don't think he saw about her. He was talking about obviously the song of the prophecy, the Song of Ice and Fire, that we obviously know applies to Jon. And that's why I was saying you're the one, you must do this. But I think she's going to take that as she must do it.
Well, why wouldn't she? So he said to her.
I understand, my king.
So I feel like she's going to take that as...
What a nice blade you have there.
She's going to interpret that in her own way. Oh.
He doesn't want to suffer anymore.
My love.
Oh. Good night, sweet king.
Oh, gosh. What a horrible episode. I feel like our silence kind of says it all there, like,
Well then.
I mean, it's difficult for her to not take that as, I mean, he's talking to me. He said my name. You know, they've had that conversation before outside the bonfire.
What?
About Aegon being the king and...
What bonfire?
I can't remember where it was, but they were...
Was that not before Alicent you were talking about?
Oh
no, you're talking about when Aegon was first born.
Yeah, he was talking to Alicent about having the dream. And about how he would have a son that would rule, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously they've got kids together, but...
Yeah, well, I feel like he was talking about Aegon's dream of the Song in Ice and Fire, and she's going to take that as talking about his dream that his son Aegon would be the prophesized child.
Yeah, and that she needs to push on that because that's what the king wants.
Yeah, whereas
which, I mean, why wouldn't you?
I feel like he was mentioning it because he knew he was dying, and that was obviously his job, is to pass on the blade. Yeah,
which is why it showed it
so
at the end.
I think that's why he was talking about it. I don't feel like he was necessarily being like, no, my dying breath, I feel like... But if she also turns around, she's like, the king is dead, but his dying breath was that my son Aegon was to be the heir.
No one's going to believe it.
Well, no, the difference is people will believe it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to look sus whether he said it or didn't say it.
Yeah, it'll look suspicious regardless.
Because of everything that's already happened.
So you'll have half the realm thinking, well, we don't want we don't want a queen, so...
I can't believe I didn't even recognise Aemond. It kept showing this long, lanky guy with the eye patch, and I was just like, why is he pouting like Zoolander? That's all I could think. And then I was like, wait, who is this kid? And then I had to ask, I was like, who is he? And you're like, that's Aemond. And I'm like, ew. It just, because it went from that whole, like, fight scene,
I thought the eye patch would have gave it away.
We were talking about Solid Snake and Kurt Russell. I mean, come on.
He looks like a Targaryen and he's got an eye patch.
And now I understand even more so why, when they were in the hall, he's like looking across
And the
Luke.
The thing where he says, nephew is like, are you here to train? Was him trying to goad them into having a fight.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just totally kind of confused at that moment because I was like, can someone at least say his bloody name?
He definitely seems... Well, I said it for you.
Yeah, you
There
did.
you go. He definitely seems to have grown up a nice, well-rounded individual. Not.
Hashtag sarcasm.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I can imagine if someone took my eye, I don't think I'd be very happy seeing them.
No, I mean,
but it
of
also
course
seems
not.
a bit of a douche.
I think he, when he got the dragon, he just became different, you know. But then, unfortunately, losing his eye, he's obviously going to hold on for revenge with that whole situation. And I think...
Can we talk about how, like, another 9 years or 8 or 6 or whatever many fucking years, I don't fucking know, has passed, and Chadley, like, just looks the exact same.
To be honest, I was actually wondering if it was a different guy altogether.
If it's Chadley's son.
Because he looked younger. I was like, what is it with guys cutting their hair and they just look like 10 years younger? Like, I just don't get it. Yeah, he had shorter hair.
Oh, that even was.
Yeah. Interesting that he was having nothing to do with Alicent now, though. He was just outside. Because he
Still
wasn't in the room.
kids, yeah,
he wasn't in the room when they were all eating and that. But, God, I find it interesting that you've got Aegon, who is just kind of taking advantage of the fact he's a prince.
Oh, he's just Joffrey, isn't he, really?
Yeah, it's like he's married, but he's like...
Say that, no, not Joffrey, because Joffrey had that horrible nastiness, whereas Aegon's much...
He's not nasty, he's just meh. He's a teenager!
He's Tyrion.
Yeah.
He's Tyrion, except taller.
Like, when I kept saying to you, I was like, he's acting like such a teenager in bed. Like, go away, Mom. Like, what did I do? I just slept with someone. Like,
You raped your maid, mate.
It's like, yeah, whatever. Kind of, yeah.
Tyrion wouldn't rape his maid.
When she was like, you're no son of mine, though.
I mean, like, put it this way. Her entire shtick is that she's, like, hyper-religious. And then you've got a son who just... Like, he's married to your daughter, but he's just anything that moves and getting drunk and jerking off out the window. The daft thing is, see the actor for Aemond? I feel like that actor would have been more suited to...
Damon.
Hello?
I thought you were going to say Damon.
No. I feel like that actor would have been more suited for Aegon. Because the younger Aegon looked like a younger version of him.
That's why I was so confused.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this guy's taller, he's older, and he's not quite the same personality as he was before. You stop yawning.
I know.
Good Lord. Whereas I feel like Aegon, they're getting it right with him, but I felt like the actor for young Aemond and older, I wasn't seeing the connection at
I don't
all.
think the older actor for Aegon even... Like, he doesn't put me in the mind of, like, that's the same character that's grown up. I feel like the casting's a bit weird there.
Yeah.
Not that his acting was fine. I just mean the overall look of him.
Yeah. But I think
strange.
that...
Although it is hard to get it right when you're trying to age up people.
Yeah. I think the two Rhaenyra's kids, though, are good. Did we see...
Joffrey?
Yeah.
No.
No, I didn't think so. Because when he mentioned at the table, he mentioned Joffrey. I was like, where's Joffrey? I was like, I don't...
I'm assuming they just didn't bring Joffrey.
Well, who's watching Joffrey? He's 6. Good Lord, just leaving him alone like that.
It's weird, actually, that Joffrey just wasn't in it.
Yeah. There was a lot to unpack in that episode. Not to unpack, I mean, it was self-explanatory as you went across it, but I just felt like that was one of those episodes that they threw everything at and then resolved it like 20 minutes later, which was funny. And then it just kind of went back to the tension again between. So it's like you've had this episode being a slightly different story, and then by the end of it, you've got Viserys talking to Alicent about, you know, now she's going to misconstrue it, which is like going back to the same story. So it's quite difficult because you get like something new happening and then it's over.
Yeah.
Just as quick.
I feel like with the Driftmark.
It's not Driftwood.
No, that's the throne. I feel like with that, the Driftmark, the succession for that being sorted, I kind of feel like Alicent was like, oh, well, that's over with. I can go back to having my friend again.
Yeah.
And then, now that Viserys has turned around and talked about the prophecy to Alicent, it's going to be like, oh, well, I need to do this.
Yeah, it's going straight back to it. So now Rhaenyra's going to come visit her by herself, and it's just going to be shenanigans again.
Mm.
So we're just kind of going back and forward a lot with...
Yeah, I wonder. I reckon we're not getting a time jump with this next one. I reckon it'll just be...
I reckon this is
Viserys dead and Alicent's... Rhaenyra's coming back over.
Yeah, I think this is who we're ending the season with now. So, but no, I kind of understand where Aemon's coming from, because Rhaenyra's kids come across as, well, as you put it, they're very well-to-do, and one's getting ready to be the king one day, and he's got manners, and then the other one's also like a very good-looking young boy, and then you've got Aemon, who's holding on to this anger, and he's just watching what they get to do, being like, I hate you guys. Like, I hate you so much. And then when his brother's just a bit of a loser.
I reckon there's probably a bit of superiority on that side as well because of the hair. And because Rhaenyra's kids are bastards, even though they are still Targaryens.
Well, I think they do very well, considering, you know, how everyone's looking at us, and the guys calling them out in the actual room. But should know better than to do that, because Daemon will come for you.
I think it was more that he called Rhaenyra a whore.
I know.
That Daemon was like, nope.
That's my lady. Like, find a man like Daemon, okay?
They'll chop off someone. They'll kill your gay husband so that he can marry you, and he'll chop the head off of anyone that calls you a whore.
Yeah, that's what us ladies need in our life.
I mean, technically it didn't kill her husband. But...
No, because he's still alive. So, alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching. This was more of like a chill episode here today. I feel very like zen just now.
Okay.
After everything that's happened, I'm very, very zen. Right, only 2 more episodes left to go.
Must kick off.
Oh yeah, it'll kick off at some point, I reckon. We hope you have a nice weekend, and we'll see you next week for episode 9 of 10.
I'm surprised you can count that high.
I know.